Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful day like always. I'm continuing with my Michael Jackson discography journey, and we made it to his 7th studio album from 1987 called Bad. Now, just like Thriller, which is the best-selling album of all time, Bad is also one of the best-selling albums of all time. It sold more than 30 million copies worldwide. The album is in the top 12 of biggest-selling albums of all time, and there were also 9 singles released from the album. Also, his Bad tour was the highest grossing solo concert tour of the 1980s. It also says here that the Bad tour was the last time that he performed in the United States, which is interesting. I don't know why that is, so if you guys know, leave a comment. The album was also nominated for 6 Grammy Awards, winning Best Engineered Recording Non-Classical and Best Music Video for Leave Me Alone. This album has also been named by several publications as one of the greatest albums of all time. And just like Thriller, there was a 25th anniversary re-release of Bad, released back in 2012, called Bad 25. Now, I will be doing a part 2 video for Bad. I'll be listening to the Bad 25, which is filled with a whole bunch of bonus tracks, previously unheard songs. And looking at the track list for the bonus material of Bad 25, it looks like there are 8 bonus tracks. So I will be uploading that video next Friday. It will be called Bad 25 Part 2 or something, so look out for that video next Friday. But in this video, I will be checking out the original 11 tracks from the album. There are 11 tracks, and the album is 49 minutes. The only tracks I recall hearing are tracks number 1, Bad, and I think that's it. Mad in the Mirror, I don't know, I might have heard Mad in the Mirror at some point in my life, I don't know. But like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. I actually don't remember what Bad sounds like. I don't remember the last time I heard that song, so this is gonna be like a first listen all over again for the song Bad, because I'm trying to think of what it sounds like and I don't even remember. But anyway, enough talking, let's get into the first track, Bad. It's all coming back. Oh, yes, track number 1, Bad, which was the second single off the album. I don't know about you guys, but I think Michael Jackson is bad. I don't know, it's just an impression I'm getting. What happened to the sweet little boy I knew when I listened to his very first solo album? Got to Be There. I am curious to know if this song is autobiographical. I don't know if Michael Jackson writes songs that are just frivolous pop songs and don't really mean anything, they don't really represent his life, or I wonder if each and every song he writes is in some ways autobiographical and true. So I'm wondering if this is some sort of a declaration to the public of his behavior. I don't know, what was his behavior like back then in 1987 when this album was released? Did he have the reputation of being bad? Was he rebellious? Was he naughty? What was he like in the tabloids? How did he interact with the paparazzi and what have you? Your butt is mine, gonna take it right, just show your face in broad daylight. I'm telling you on how I feel, gonna hurt your mind, don't shoot to kill. Come on, lay it on me. It does say here that Jackson stated that the song was influenced by a real-life story he had read about of a young man who tried to escape poverty by attending private school that ended up being killed when he returned home. So it looks like this song wasn't really autobiographical, it was more so influenced by this young man and this story here. But I don't know, maybe Michael Jackson could also relate to the song as well. Bad is a song about the street. He's saying when you're strong and good, then you're bad. Oh. See, I just love looking up the history behind songs. I just find it really fascinating. I mean, I don't need to tell you how much fun this song is. It really is. It's a joy to listen to. It's a joy to dance to. And it just makes you feel bad. So now let's move on to track number 2, The Way You Make Me Feel, which was the third single off the album. I like. Okay, that was track number 2, The Way You Make Me Feel. Yes, the production on this song, I absolutely love it so much. And once again, I really enjoyed myself. This was another great song, and I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys. Hey Pretty Baby with the high heels on, you give me fever like I've never ever known. You're just a product of loveliness. I like the groove of your walk. You talk, your dress, I feel your fever from miles away. I won't lie, this song kind of did turn me on. I especially loved his vocals on this track. The things he was doing with his voice was just remarkable. It was so much fun to listen to. In my prior video, I called them pops. That's what he was doing with his voice, these pops. One of you let me know that they were called vocal hiccups. Vocal hiccups are described as gulping for air or gasping. I was actually going to try to do it and attempt it, but I don't want to embarrass myself, so I think it's better that I don't try. That was horrible. What was that? Sound like a bird. When Michael Jackson does it, it's sexy and cool, but when I do it, I just sound like a deranged seagull. That's enough embarrassment for one day, so let's move on to track number 3, Speed Demon. Alrighty, that was track number 3, Speed Demon. Yes, 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 I'm in love with this album. I'm enjoying myself so much, just like any other Michael Jackson album. But this album in particular, I'm really liking. I just feel like a badass. I feel like I need to break the law when I listen to this album. I just have the urge to be a rebellious bad boy. I just want to start fucking shit up right now. I don't know if the album is supposed to make me feel that way, but that's how it's making me feel. Speeding on the freeway, gotta get a leadway. Doing it on the highway, gotta have it my way. Mind is like a compass, I'm stopping at nothing. He say, pull over boy and get your ticket right, and nothing gonna stop me. Ain't no stop and go. I'm speeding on the midway. I'm getting the impression that Michael Jackson just does whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He's Michael Jackson. He could even just break the law and get away with it. There were 9 singles from the album, but Speed Demon was one of the 2 songs from the album that wasn't a single. The other song that wasn't a single was track number 5, Just Good Friends. The highlight of this song, in my opinion, was the production. The production on this whole album is great. I'm thinking the production on this album is my favorite out of all the Michael Jackson albums so far. So now let's move on to track number 4, Liberian Girl. Alrighty, that was track number 4, Liberian Girl, and this was a very interesting song. He is confessing his love for this Liberian girl. You came and you changed my world. A love so brand new, a Liberian girl. You came and you changed, girl. A feeling so true, Liberian girl. Just like in the movies with 2 lovers in a scene, and she says, "Do you love me?" And he says so endlessly, "I love you, Liberian girl." Once again, I really liked the production on this song, just like the other 3 tracks. And this was the 9th single off the album, but it was only released as a single in the UK. I'm actually very curious to know the story behind this song. The song received a positive reception in Liberia, with women from the country viewing the song as empowering. One woman from Liberia said, "When the music came out, the Liberian girls were so astonished to hear a great musician like Michael Jackson thinking about a little country in Africa. It gave us hope, especially when things went bad. It made us to feel that we are still part of the world." The song isn't my favorite Michael Jackson song in the world. I probably won't listen to it repeatedly, but I like the meaning and the story behind the song and what it means to so many people. So now let's move on to track number 5, Just Good Friends. Alrighty, that was track number 5, Just Good Friends, and this is definitely a party album, I won't lie. It's a lot of fun. I said this many times already, but I'm loving the production on this album. This track was very rock and roll, and I liked it. I don't know who the other male vocalist on this song was. I just love how aggressive the production and his vocals on this album are. He is talking about this person who sees right through him, and they're just good friends. Baby loves me, though she acts like I'm not there. That doesn't mean she doesn't love me. If they ask her, tell them that we're just good friends. I feel like he could also be singing about an affair or cheating, how he is hooking up with this other person, but if they ask, tell him that we're just good friends. Baby loves me, though she acts like I'm not there, so she acts like he isn't there because they're having an affair or they're cheating on their significant other. I don't know, that's probably not the meaning behind the song, but it could be interpreted that way as well. Because Michael Jackson was so famous, everybody knew who he was. maybe, I don't know, how hard was it for him to have a relationship with people back then? Obviously, I don't know, he couldn't really go out in public with other people, with someone he was dating. I don't know what his love life was like back in the 1980s, the late 1980s. So if you guys know, share your knowledge with me. Who was Michael Jackson dating, if anyone, back in the late 1980s? Who was he seen hanging out with? I'm sure the paparazzi took many photos of him out in public, so was he seen with anyone in particular? Maybe a celebrity, someone else who was famous, maybe an everyday person, I don't know. So now we're gonna move on to track number 6, Another Part of Me. Okay, and that was track number 6, Another Part of Me, which was the 6th single off the album. I will say, so far, I'm 6 tracks into the album, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself. I just don't feel like this album has the same iconic stature as Thriller. The album is great, it just doesn't have the super iconic singles and bangers that Thriller had, like Beat It and Billie Jean and Thriller. I don't know if Michael's goal was to create an album better than Thriller with Bad. He says here, we're taking over, we have the truth, this is the mission to see it through. Don't point your finger, not dangerous. This is our planet, you're one of us. We're sending out a major love, and this is our message to you. And then he goes on to say, the planets are lining up, we're bringing brighter days, they're all in line, waiting for you, can't you see? You're just another part of me. In particular, I really like the lyrics on this song. It says here that in 2001, Quincy Jones said, Jackson wanted to include Streetwalker instead of Another Part of Me. However, Quincy Jones said Michael liked Streetwalker and I wanted to do Another Part of Me. So instead, Streetwalker was later released on the 2001 special edition and the second disc of the 25th anniversary reissue, which I will be listening to next Friday. In my opinion, I think this album is very consistent, and I think so far, 6 tracks in, this is a great Michael Jackson album. So now let's move on to track number 7, Mad in the Mirror. I've heard this song before. Hands down, my favorite track from the album. I mean, this is one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs ever. And I do recall hearing this song before, in particular the chorus. It sounds very familiar. I love it so much. The choir and the meaning behind the song, it's a very thought-provoking song as well, and that's also why I like it. You know what? This is one of Michael Jackson's best songs ever. I said it. I don't know if it is, but in my opinion it is, and it's great. This was the 4th single off the album. I'm curious to know if this song went number 1. I'm hoping it did. Please, did it go number 1? Please. I'm scrolling to the bottom. I'm checking. Okay, charts. US Billboard Hot 100. Number one! Ah! I'm so excited right now. Why am I so hyper? What did that song do to me? I swear to God. It only went to number 3 in Canada. Canada. My country. I am so disappointed in you. This song didn't go number 1 in Canada. Oh, I'm sorry. I need a break after listening to that song. It was... I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a fucking change. Ugh. He doesn't say the word fuck in the song. I added that, but... that just goes to show you how much I love the lyrics. Could it be really me pretending that we're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. This song is getting the spritzer bottle. It's that good. I can't. It's wonderful. It's not 10 out of 10, it's 50 out of 10. Now, I might be overreacting to how much I like this song, but I love it so much. Especially the gospel choir. If you know me, if you've watched any of my other videos where there's a gospel choir, you will know that I love gospel music. I love a good gospel choir. It just does something to me. I could keep going on and on about this song, but we have to move on to the next song, track number 8, I Just Can't Stop Loving You. Now, this is a collaboration with Sida Garrett.
Each time the wind blows, I hear your voice, so I call your name. You know how I feel, this thing can't go wrong. I hear your voice now, you are my choice now. I just can't stop loving you. And if I stop, then tell me just what will I do? I just can't stop loving you. I just can't stop loving you. I just can't stop loving you.
Okay, that was track number 8, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, and this was another great song. And I will say there's something very mature about this album. Michael is definitely growing up and he is becoming wiser. Another theme on the album I'm picking up is change. He does sing about change on this song, as well as track number 7, Man in the Mirror. In this song, he says, we can change all the world tomorrow. We can sing songs of yesterday. I can say, hey, farewell to sorrow. This is my life, and I want to see you for always. I just can't stop loving you. So he does sing about changing the world and how we can change the world, not just in this song, but in track number 7 as well, Man in the Mirror. I'm getting the impression that Michael does have this, I don't know, he does have this tough exterior, this persona. He's Michael Jackson, Thriller, and Beat It, Billie Jean. But I really do think at heart, he is a very tender and kind individual. As I listen to more of his albums, he does seem to be a sensitive soul. I mean, I don't know anything about Michael Jackson, but this is just what I'm picking up, listening to his music and reading his lyrics. He just seems like a tender, sensitive person who just wants to help change the world. I am a little surprised because I Just Can't Stop Loving You was the lead single off the album. And I don't know, you'd think a song like Bad would have been the lead single. I don't know. So it's just surprising that this was the lead single, but I really liked it. I Just Can't Stop Loving You also went to number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. And how did it do in Canada? Number 1, thank God. Oh wait. I am curious to know how many number 1 Billboard Hot 100 hits Michael Jackson has. Michael Jackson, number 1 songs, Billboard. It says here that he has 13. And it looks like Bad also went number 1 off the album. So he had 3 number 1 hits from this album. Unless there were more, I have to keep scrolling down. The Way You Make Me Feel, the second track off the album, also went number 1. He had 4 number 1 hits off this album. Dirty Diana, what? The 9th track off this album also went number 1. How many does that make it? 5, 6, 8? Oh my god. I'm scared to keep going. Okay, Man in the Mirror, I knew that already. He had 5 number 1 hit singles off the album. I don't know how I missed that when I was giving you the introduction to this album at the very beginning. How did I miss that? A record-breaking 5 number 1s. I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, and Dirty Diana. I'm shook. I'm shook. I had no idea. Okay, so let's move on to track number 9. The number 1 Billboard Hot 100 song, Dirty Diana. Okay, and that was track number 9, Dirty Diana. I really enjoyed this song. I loved the rock influence on this song as well. I've been here times before, but I was too blind to see that you seduce every man. This time you won't seduce me. She's saying that's okay. Hey baby, do what you please. I have the stuff that you want. I am the thing that you need. She looked me deep in the eyes. She's touching me so to start. She says there's no turning back. She trapped me in her heart. Dirty Diana. Scandalous. I'm curious to know if this Dirty Diana is a real person. The song's about groupies. Okay, well, that makes sense. Initial reports at the time suggested that the song was a poke at his close friend Diana Ross. However, it was later denied. Quincy Jones later confirmed that the song's lyrics were about groupies. And then Michael also confirmed to Barbara Walters that the song was not about Diana, Princess of Wales, Princess Diana, though he was told personally by the princess that it was her favorite song among all his songs. You know, her name did come to mind when I read the title of the song, Dirty Diana. I mean, I can't help it. Every time I hear the name Diana, I think of Princess Diana. I do want to go back to a previous statement I made, a question I asked you as to who Michael Jackson was dating back in the 1980s, because I feel like I need to know, going on this Michael Jackson discography journey, I feel like I need to know who his spouses were. So it says in 1994, he married Lisa Marie Presley, and they divorced in 1996, 2 years later. And then he married Debbie Rowe in 1996, the same year he divorced Lisa Marie Presley. And then he divorced from Debbie Rowe in 1999. I'm finding it difficult to find people that Michael Jackson dated in the 1980s. It says here from one person that Michael Jackson dated many women in his life. He often said Diana Ross was the love of his life, and he wasn't joking. So now let's move on to track number 10, Smooth Criminal. Ooh. Oh, this poor Addie, what happened to you? This is quite the dark song. It's quite graphic, and I wasn't expecting that, but I like it. I like dark stuff like this. I have a very macabre sense of humor. I really liked the lyrics on this song. He came into her apartment. He left the bloodstains on the carpet. She ran underneath the table. He could see she was unable, so she ran into the bedroom. She was struck down. Oh, it's a lot more graphic when I read it out loud. It was her doom. Addie, are you okay? Addie, are you okay? It was Sunday. What a black day. Mouth to mouth resuscitation, sounding heartbeats, intimidations. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. I was definitely getting Thriller vibes from this song. I feel like this song could have been on his Thriller album. Now, this was the 7th single off the album. I'm surprised this song didn't go #1. Or maybe I'm not, because it is quite graphic and dark, so maybe the general public didn't like that. I don't know. It did go to #7. Now, it says here that the name Annie was inspired by resuscitation. Oh, that's clever. Okay, I was just an idiot. Resuscitation. Resusci Annie, a dummy used in CPR training. Oh, that's very interesting. It stated that this is his best blend of R&B groove and rock edginess and a turning point in his shift toward darker, harder-edged material. Oh, so are we gonna get much darker after Bad? Ooh, I'm excited. This is another one of my favorite tracks off the album, and I really enjoyed it. So we have come to the end of the album, track number 11, Leave Me Alone. I love when he does that. Alrighty, that was the final track off the album, Leave Me Alone, and I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of this song. It's probably one of my least favorites from the album. I don't care what you talking about, baby. I don't care what you say. Don't you come walking, begging back, mama. I don't care anyway. There was a time I used to say, girl, I need you, but who is sorry now? You really hurt. You used to take and deceive me. Now who is sorry? Now. You got a way of making me feel so sorry. I found out right away. Don't you come walking begging. I ain't loving you. So it looks like he is throwing it back at this person and he's telling them to leave him alone. He doesn't want to have anything to do with them anymore. Who is sorry now? You are. It says here that Leave Me Alone was a response to negative rumors about Jackson that frequently appeared in the tabloids post-1985 after the success of Thriller. It also says that beginning in 1986, the tabloids began to publish rumors about Jackson, one of the first being a story claiming that Jackson slept in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber to slow the aging process. A picture leaked out to the media of him lying down in a hyperbaric chamber at a hospital he visited. It also says here that Jackson bought a pet chimpanzee named Bubbles. The tabloids viewed it as evidence of Jackson's increasing detachment from reality. It also says that Jackson offered to buy the bones of Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, and Jackson later stated that this was a complete lie, and this led to stories calling him Wacko Jacko. It also says that another frequent response from the media was about his plastic surgery. Some people also noted that the song has been viewed as having a paranoia theme. So now that I know the story behind the song, I do like it a bit more. and Leave Me Alone. I mean, this man, one of the, if not the biggest celebrity, the biggest musician of all time, at the time and even today in 2020, I imagine he was relentlessly stalked and criticized, and his name was all over the tabloids, and I imagine people just wouldn't leave him alone. Could you imagine just wanting to be by yourself, to have your own private time alone, and not even be able to do that? I take for granted the blessing I have in my life, being able to walk around anonymously, not being recognized, and just going to the grocery store, no one recognizing me, being able to stay in my apartment with peace and quiet. And oftentimes I take that for granted because there are many people, I guess not many people, but a lot of prominent celebrities can't do that, unfortunately. So that is all 11 tracks of Bad, and I really enjoyed myself. Lightning does strike twice, and this album, just like Thriller, is fantastic. There's no Beat It, there's no Billie Jean, there's no Thriller on this album, but the songs are just as good as the material on Thriller, and I loved the production. I feel like I enjoy the production on this album more than Thriller, and it's definitely a party album. I also enjoyed the lyrics on the album. You could tell that Michael is growing up, he's maturing, he's becoming wiser, and there definitely is a lot of growth when it comes to the lyrics from Thriller, his prior album, to now Bad in 1987. Just from what I've read and reading the lyrics on this album, I feel like this is a turning point for him. And I don't know, things are gonna get a little interesting, I imagine, as I continue on in my Michael Jackson discography journey. Not only do I listen to these albums, but I also research aspects of his life at the time. So as I continue on into the 90s, I'm gonna learn more about his life and what he was going through and the controversies and the scandals, and it's just gonna get very interesting. And I'm curious to know what he'll have to say in those songs and those albums of the 90s. There were a couple songs on this album that didn't really resonate with me that I probably wouldn't really go back to, but overall there are quite a few songs on here that I love that I will be jamming to for years to come. And of course, my favorite track off the album is Man in the Mirror, track number 7. In my opinion, one of his best songs ever. I also liked how he played around with rock and roll on this album, which was really nice. Definitely a badass album. It made me feel like a badass, but it's also tender and meaningful, and he wants to change the world, and it's loving as well, but it's also filled with scandal and gossip and the perception of what people had towards him. And like I said already, Michael does have a tough exterior, a little bit of a badass and rebellious, but deep down I really do feel like he's very tender and sweet and sensitive. So what did you guys think of the album, and which album do you prefer? Do you prefer Thriller or do you prefer Bad? Maybe you don't like this album. Maybe it's one of your least favorite Michael Jackson albums. Maybe you think it's overrated. Tell me why in the comments. I think this is a worthy follow-up to Thriller, and I enjoyed it. So in my next Michael Jackson video, we'll be continuing with Bad. Now, this is the 25th anniversary re-release of Bad that was released in 2012, and there are about 8 bonus tracks that I'll be listening to. So that will be in next Friday's video, Bad Part 2. So I think that's all I wanted to say on the album. Thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlists, and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.